listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen. The unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday.
Welcome to the breakfast hour. It is Wellness Wednesday, and of course, we are thrilled. We are certainly feeling blessed to be here on this platform to greet you all, whether you have joined us on YouTube or Facebook. It is a wonderful privilege to join you right here from the studios of Flashpoint. We are happy to be online, and of course, we have a great lineup for you this morning. We have Dr. K waiting in the wings to share with you all about liver disease. Now, this is the time that you may want to share the link. This is the time you might want to tell someone that something interesting, informative is happening right here on the breakfast hour. Good morning, Mikey G.
I would say good morning, Lady Elise, and of course to all our listeners and all viewers this morning who are listening on flashpointmedia.ky, and of course YouTube, Facebook, and of course our Instagram this morning. I want to say pleasant good morning to you, and of course welcome one, welcome all, and of course we have Wellness Wednesday. Dr. K, as Lady Elise says, is going to be talking a little bit more on how to take care of our health this morning.
Or is this a fate? At least now I'm feeling better. I know I'm here to stay. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air. Look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together. We'll all seem better outside. Just us in the sky.
Of course, it's Wellness Wednesday this morning, and we are indeed happy to be here and alive one more time. Today is Wednesday, as it has never been before this morning. Of course, all right, listen, I have a big thing I want to do this morning. I have a little man. I want to celebrate his birthday today, Lady Elise, and later on, we're going to be sharing that information with everyone. Of course, the man King himself. And so we want to share this little fellow this morning's
The
birthday
man
celebration.
King?
The man called King. Yeah, of course.
Everything sounds so confusing. The man king.
The man
little
king.
One, who is a little one.
The man King. All right. Yeah, you see, that's the beauty of it, you know. You know, yesterday I was listening to the Toastmasters speak. And
Yes.
so the Toastmasters speak came on. Let me tell our listeners and viewers who do not know, and if you didn't know, of course, here's where the Toastmasters comes on every second Tuesday and fourth Tuesdays, second and fourth Tuesday every month. All right, and so they come on live. But after that, we would do some of the rebroadcasting of some of their programs every week. But they're live in studio on every second Tuesday and fourth Tuesday in the month, in every month, at 5:30 in the PM. So one of the presenters, so they were talking about Toastmasters, and she was saying, you know, the Toastmaster actually was this guy. They were interviewing this guy yesterday, and I don't remember his name right now, but he's one of the
Paul Prasad.
Mr. Paul Prasad. I know you remember because you are yourself a Toastmaster. All right, so let's go with the idea, right? And so the statement was made that men, it is good to see a man winning the competition and actually being, it's good to see a man winning the competition, you know? And I listened to the conversation for a while, you know, I listened good, you know, and I don't want to say what I'm going to say next, but, you know.
You don't want to say it, but you're going to say it, right?
I don't want to say it. I'm going to hold
but
that
you're
one.
going to say it.
I'm going to hold it. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone, you know. I just wanted to leave it
How
alone.
does that work?
It was, no, because, you know, it's like, you know, I don't want to say it. I want to leave it. You know, let me just leave it alone.
It sounds as if right there's a battle going
There's
on.
a battle
you
going
know.
on in my mind,
Let
you
me
know.
tell you.
The battle, it's a serious battle, too, you know. It's not a simple battle, you know. Big, you know.
Hold it, Mikey.
I'm holding it.
Hold it.
I can't say it. People, I know you want me to say it. You're dying to hear what Michael G has to say right now. You want me to say it. Oh boy, but you know, the word Toastmasters, you know, considering it is what it is, you know. Alright, I've said that. Alright, so the Toastmaster did come up this time. You know, I'm just saying. I'm troubling, guys. Please bear with me. I'm still in the work. A lot to be done on myself. You know, working progress. Please help me. Yeah. Help me.
It's good to know that you require help. I know perhaps it's time for a devotional because certainly it might help to steer you in the right direction.
You're possibly right, Denise. This morning, of course, our devotion is brought to us by M&M Construction for all your construction needs right here in the Cayman Islands.
Looking to build your dream home or renovate your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509.
Good morning. This is day 26. The Lord knows those who are his. 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 19. Well known, written by Mart Dehaan. Arctic seabirds called guillemots live on rocky coastal cliffs where thousands of them come together in small areas. Because of the crowded conditions, the females lay their eggs side by side in a long row. It's incredible that a mother bird can identify the eggs that belongs to her. Studies show that even when one is moved some distance away, she finds it and carries it back to its original location. Our Heavenly Father is far more intimately acquainted with each of his children. He is aware of every thought, emotion, and decision we make. From morning till night, he gives personal attention to our daily affairs. Overwhelmed by this glorious reality, the psalmist exclaimed in amazement, "Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain it." Psalm 139 verse 6. Not only does this evoke our praise, but it should also bring great comfort to our hearts. Jesus told his disciples that the Father knows when a single sparrow falls to the ground. Because people are of so much greater value than the birds, God's children can be assured of His constant care. How wonderful it is to be such a well-loved, well-known verse. The Savior knows our deepest need, and He knows our every care. Our Lord has promised to be near and all our burdens share. The quote this morning reads, "With God, you're never lost in a crowd." End quote.
Happy to know that with God, you are never lost in a crowd this morning. And of course, yeah.
That's just so interesting.
Deep
Making
words.
that analogy
Yeah.
with those seabirds, the Arctic birds, who they lay their eggs side by side, but the bird actually knows their egg. So if one goes out of the nest,
Mhm.
they can find their egg and bring it one. And so the analogy is God knows us, our different circumstances. Though there are so many, and Mikey G, it's so interesting because this morning, as I said my prayer before I got into studio, I knelt by my bed. Yes, I did. And I did say to God, I know you hear billions and trillions of prayers. So many prayers going up, and sometimes while I'm praying, I'm sure another person is praying, but I am reassured that God hears my prayer and is not really put to the bottom of the pile.
Yes.
There's a song that says you're next in line for your blessing. I wonder if there's a line, because God simply just hears, everyone,
A big lineup, every time for blessing that you should have.
Yes.
Am I next in line for my blessing?
Ay, that's a question. But of course, Dr. K is ready to join us to bless us this morning because it's indeed a blessing to have Dr. K
Yes.
with us on the breakfast hour each time that she chooses to spend the time to share with us crucial tips. Persons talking a lot about their health and well-being. It is the number one topic, even right here on Flashpoint. If you check back on our videos, the health topics are certainly important. So we do appreciate Dr. K joining us. And so you'll hear from us hear from her after this break.
All right. Wellness Wednesdays, guys, when we come back.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
welcome back. It is Wellness Wednesday, and it is a blessing to have Dr. K joining us this morning. Dr. K is a medical doctor, and she has been in this profession for a minute. Well, a long minute. It's been a minute, it's been a while that she has been practicing, and certainly we anticipate and we appreciate all that she has presented right here on the breakfast hour. So I'm sure she has a wealth of information, and I'm always first in line to speak about my medical issues. I am reassured every time that I should be less stressed, exercise more, and rest more, and eat well. And the journey is a rough one, but I am continuing. Thank you, Dr. K. Welcome to the breakfast hour.
Good morning, Lady Elise. Good morning, Mikey G.
Good morning, Dr. K. And welcome to the breakfast hour this morning. Of course, it's Wellness Wednesday, and we are here. I think today we're talking a little bit. What's the topic today, though? We talked a little bit last week on some topics. Did Elise help me with that one? And
Heart failure.
with the heart, right? And so it ended up that we were talking a little bit about that filtering system, and we are now going further in how our health is taken care of, even in our bodies. Yesterday we had a feature on the just before you go to bed with Connie J.E. Talked a little bit about healthcare and how we should take care of ourselves. It was a very interesting topic, and I would go back and take a listen to that one again. This morning, of course, I'm sure that you're going to share some information with us that we are desperately in need of, and we will benefit from today.
Yes, I am. Today we're going to be talking about diseases of the liver.
Diseases of the
And
liver.
yes, and there's a lot of diseases of the liver. I'm just going to give an overview, and then probably I'm going to talk about fatty liver. But there are a number of things, there are a number of diseases of the liver. There are a number of things that cause damage to the liver, varying from viruses, bacteria, toxins, parasites, what we put in our bodies, the herbal stuff that we take in, a plant such as comfrey. I'm sure a lot of people in the Caribbean use this for different things.
Yes, I use comfrey. What's wrong with comfrey?
It can damage the liver.
Wow.
It can, and that is used in excess. So there are a number of things, even your vitamins and stuff can damage your liver. So we have a number of liver disease. We know the liver is very, very important in the body. The liver is important. It is important to get rid of toxins, okay? The liver produce clotting factors that causes or whenever we get injury to our body, the clotting factors are produced in the liver. And also there are a number of other factors that are produced in your liver. And so your liver is one of those organs in your body that's really, really, really important. Do you know where your liver is?
Right upper quadrant is the largest internal organ.
Correct. And do you know the weight of the liver?
No, I don't know the weight of
The
it.
liver can weigh up to 4 pounds.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. And so when it gets bigger, it can weigh way over that. So your liver can get, and the liver is filled with blood, lots of it, and your gallbladder sits just under your liver. Mikey G, you have that picture?
I'm trying to pull it up for you, Doc.
Okay.
Just give me a
So
moment.
you have a gallbladder that sits under your liver. So your liver is important in digestion. It produces bile. Do you know that substance, that yellow substance, that when you vomit sometimes, you're having um, probably some upset to the stomach and you're vomiting and you vomit eventually you vomit this yellow liquid that is called bile. So what happens in the liver? And I'm just going to go through symptoms of liver disease. What happens when you have problems with your liver? And you will know because you get fatigued, you sometimes get yellowing of the skin and eyes. Now, it might not be easy to see yellowing of my skin because I'm dark. Black and brown skinned persons may not see yellowing as easy as people of other ethnicity, but the eyes, the sclera, will look, mine is white, it can look yellow. So you go to your doctor, every time you go to your doctor, you see your doctor looking in the eye, and you're wondering, why are they always looking in my eye? Look up, look down, and then they look at your fingers. Because once you have jaundice, you have yellowing of the membrane, okay? And this is going to herald that you have liver disease. Now, there's so many things that can cause liver disease. As I say, you have viruses, you have things like hepatitis A, right? And you can get this from just unhealthy practices. Wash your hands. And if you go to areas that you're not familiar with, especially areas that might not have the kind of infrastructure that you're used to, where there is not the water is not purified.
So it can be foodborne then, Dr. K?
Absolutely, it is foodborne. So what you do is that if you go to areas, as I say, you try to drink bottled water and use bottled water to even wash your hands, wash your face, brush your teeth. So hepatitis is the one that is foodborne.
And another question, Dr. K. I remember some years ago, I think I was traveling, and the public health nurse offered me the vaccine, the hepatitis A vaccine was offered to me in addition to what was required for the area that I was traveling in.
That's correct. That's one way to protect yourself. So it might not be a problem in the area that you are. And we have to understand that we're across different places. People are coming from different places. We're interacting with people. And even in the space that you are, there are people coming in from all different areas.
Right.
So we have to be very cognizant that when it comes on to our food, we have to be very, very careful, know who we're eating from, know where we're eating, make sure we practice proper hygiene, wash our hands properly. Because hepatitis A, even though it is treatable, it can cause significant injury to your liver. The other one is hepatitis B and C. And these tend to occur more likely from sexual contact. And the thing about hepatitis B, you can get hepatitis B through body fluids. And not just sexual contact, through sweat.
Wow.
Yes. And that is why almost everybody has a vaccine for hepatitis B. That's something that is now introduced into the regular vaccine from children in children.
Okay.
Because hepatitis B can be so easily acquired, especially for those people who have contact sports, those athletes who are always playing with each other. If one person is infected, this they can infect other persons. Usually through sexual contact, from mother to child, from sweat, from hepatitis C tend to be more from IV drug users, even people who are getting tattoos. If the area that you go to, or if the clinic or the place that you go to get your tattoo is not clean, you can get hepatitis from those needles that they use to put that tattoo on you. Because remember, those needles are reused. Not all of them are disposed of, so it all depends on where you go. You have to be very careful about the places that you go, even to get tattoos. So we have lots of causes, as I say, viruses. Then the genetics play a role. People can inherit conditions that can lead to hepatitis, can lead to chronic liver disease. And then we have our alcoholics, where because of the increased alcohol intake, you can damage your liver and cause something called cirrhosis, which can either lead to cancer or can lead to death. Believe me, if you've seen anybody with cirrhosis of the liver, it's something that you don't want to wish on anybody. Their tummy gets bigger because of the ascites, which is a fluid buildup in their abdomen and in their legs. And they have to, because of the amount of fluid that is being built up in the abdomen, what happens is that they get uncomfortable. So they have to go to the doctor to get tapped. And sometimes they can take off up to a liter of fluid and it rebuilds. And the more you take it off, is the more it's coming back. So it's continue until you can get complications of that, or there are other things that can happen. And they can get, because of the buildup of the buildup in the blood vessel, you can get varices. So they're at risk for bleeding in the esophagus. So those persons are at risk for upper GI bleed. And remember, I told you, if you damage your liver, the clotting factors are not, we will not have that optimal. So you're bleeding, you're not clotting properly, so your risk of death is really, 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 really high. Then there's a fatty liver. Now, fatty liver is, let me say, is not well understood. Because why some obese people get it and some do not get it. And sometimes people who are not exactly obese can still get fatty liver, because the risk factor is having high cholesterol, high triglycerides. Okay? So it's something that, not sure the cause, but we know that being overweight, having high cholesterol, having high triglycerides, having insulin resistance, having uncontrolled diabetes is a cause of fatty liver.
So I'm gathering from you, Dr. K, that the liver, though not one of the organs that we speak about a lot, has a significant role in our health. And if it's not healthy, then we can have a lot of conditions developing. Now, you mentioned fatty liver, and immediately I start to think, I'm wondering if it's a modern disease, because it's up until recent times, I never heard so much talk about fatty liver. Is it a recent development, or?
Okay, so hepatic steatosis,
Yes,
which is the word for fatty liver, is, I'm not sure. I don't think it's new, but it's new because of the diagnostic. What should
okay.
I say? Diagnostic
improvement or the fact
That's
that
correct. That's correct.
yes,
Because
yes,
a lot of because what you realize is that a lot of persons who have fatty liver have no symptoms.
right,
So you will pick up fatty liver as an incidental finding. You have an abdominal pain and they're doing an ultrasound on you, and then you realize, oh my God, this person has fatty liver, which you report as fatty liver. But sometimes a lot of these persons, and sometimes the symptom that they're having and thinking that it's just abdominal pain is because of the fatty liver.
oh,
Right.
okay,
Yes, because it can cause abdominal. Because remember, fatty liver, and we call it non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. So they call it
okay,
NASH. So what it is, fatty liver is one of the forms of the NASH disease, right? So it's non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. Now, this is a disease that can look just like hepatic cirrhosis. So even though it starts out as fatty liver, it can actually advance to liver disease, damaging your liver. And so, yes, it has been around for a while. In fact, they're thinking of even changing the name, but it's not something that was a problem in the early days, because the truth is that you normally saw fatty liver. I've seen fatty liver being diagnosed for years now, but you always say, oh yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing. But as research goes on, we realize that, hey, this same fatty liver can lead just to just look just like alcoholic cirrhosis. Okay, so even though it's non-alcoholic and it happens in people who do not take alcohol, it can lead to damage to your liver. The thing about it is that once you have fatty deposits in your liver, what you're doing is damaging the intrinsic property of the liver. So once you damage the intrinsic property of the liver, you're actually causing the liver to be damaged. Now, because the liver, and you know, the good thing about the liver, do you know the liver can actually regenerate itself? And that is it. Once you damage the liver, you're limiting that process. If you have mild damage to your liver is like a lizard's tail, right? It can regenerate.
I was thinking about the liver transplant story that somebody would take a part of the liver and give to somebody else and do a transplant. Yeah, is there a surgery? I think I'm listening to that. I heard that.
Yes, that's correct. So you don't have to give an entire liver. You can do it. Yes,
I can
yes,
cut off a piece and give to somebody.
yes, yes. As long as you have a healthy liver. So when you damage parts of your liver, you can have reversible damage, and that's especially occurs in, for example, persons who take a lot of acetaminophen, because you know that can damage your liver.
that is Panadol, right?
That's Panadol. So taking too much Panadol, and people do it for purposes of wanting to kill themselves, parasuicide. They writing a note or call their friends and said, I don't want to live anymore. And you go to them and they take a whole handful of acetaminophen and actually trying to end their life for whatever reason. And it so happens that you go to the hospital, your doctor will try to get all of this Panadol out, will give you the taste bad. Well, it doesn't really taste bad, it's just thick activated charcoal, and then will try to give you drugs depending on how much acetaminophen you have in your system, that will try to chelate the Panadol itself, so you do not damage the sulfur hydryl bonds in the liver. so you can get permanent liver damage.
There's a whole lot of questions flowing through my mind. Questions that, they're just jumping around in my head. Just to listen to what you said a while ago, that the Panadol can be so dangerous for us if we take it in large doses. And so you're saying this is an over-the-counter drug that can be found on any local drugstore shelf, and is capable of this amount of if misused. My mind went there. So
No, but Mikey G, it's one of those things that we quickly grab for when we have a headache or any
Yes.
ache. The first thing we take is Panadol, and so and as Dr. K made the introduction, she was mentioning that some of these vitamins that we take can damage our liver, and also some herbs that we just take can damage our liver. So the key is to just maintain that
So it's not,
balance there.
it's not about just. So we are talking about naturopathic medicine and with conventional medicine.
Yes.
And you're looking at both of them can be a possible harm to you if misused or not having proper
Misused.
understanding of applying this knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. It's a very interesting twisted event. Just to listen to the conversation in this way, because persons would say, I just use herbs and stuff for myself and keep myself healthy, and the same herbs that you use in a plant-based way could be the very harm that you put to yourself because you're doing something healthy. Doesn't mean that you have to overdo it. So we can actually overdo something or create another situation trying to be healthier using a better diet, a better medical or health system. So I'm just saying
That's
that.
that's correct. I remember, yeah, that's true. I remember when I was in medical school and my when I think it was in pathology. Yeah, I remember Professor Hanchard, God bless his soul. I remember he spoke to us about when he was talking to us about liver disease, and he was talking to us about alcoholic hepatitis or cirrhosis, and he was talking about those cheap alcohol, cheap liquor. No, it's true. The more potent alcohol will make you drunk quicker, but those one like probably Red Label or those cheaper alcohol that you can drink and drink and drink and drink and drink, and you drink, so you're taking in so much alcohol, but it's not making you drunk
Well,
as quick.
just put
So
a
your
disclaimer.
alcohol
Just put
content
a,
is
just
high,
put a
and
disclaimer.
those are more
Just
likely to
1 minute,
damage.
Doc. Just to put a disclaimer, not to identify one particular item over the other. To just to say that we are not calling it out to say it is a cause of any form of injury to anyone. But of course, anything you do overusing it, it will harm you.
That's
Just to put a
correct.
disclaimer right there for our listening public and audience who are listening this morning. Not to label
Right. So
anything
it's,
or
it's
label
just
any
it's just
person's
the
product
alcohol,
this
the
morning.
ones that will
Yes.
the ones that will you will drink a lot of without getting drunk. At least when you get drunk, you stop drinking, correct?
Yes.
But those people who do not get drunk will continue drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. And then they're the ones who will take many, you ask how much alcohol do you drink? And they're like almost a bottle. And it's amazing though, but what happens, I remember my uncle lived to 117 when he died.
Wow,
And when
117.
117. And when he just closed his eyes and went to sleep. And when he was 115, one of his relatives did a video on him, and it's actually on YouTube. You can go ahead and look. It was posted on YouTube when he was 115, and they said to him, "Tell me, what do you, what, how do you live to be so long?" And they said, "Tell me, what do you eat?" what do you eat? You know, he says, well, I don't eat food on the outside. I like my cooked food, my yam and my banana. But when I was a boy, they never had enough alcohol.
What?
I'm telling you, he said, when I was young, they never had enough alcohol to give me. And this man lived to 115. And there's another person who doesn't even drink so much alcohol and get alcoholic cirrhosis.
Cirrhosis.
Well,
You understand? So it's there's a balance between who we are, our genetics, and it's important our lifestyle, because he might drink enough white rum that you can't even think about it, right? And somebody else never ever drink white rum, probably drink a little few alcohol, but probably their lifestyle is different. Because remember, there are other things that can damage your probably their cholesterol is high and their triglycerides are high, where he is a healthier eating person. He eats from the field, he eats from the land, he eats off the land. So he doesn't really eat a lot of processed food, he doesn't eat a lot of unhealthy stuff. Whatever he eats is going to be what he grows. So that's a totally different thing. And we have to understand that every day we talk about our lifestyle. Furthermore, he's not stressing himself. He's just living one day at a time. So he's not being bothered by anything. And we've talked about it from time immemorial, that stress or stressing our body puts a toll on not just our mental but on our physical. Our physical body is affected by our stress. And what we need to understand is that one part of our body, every part is intertwined. The brain, the hand, the foot, the eyes, it's all
Connected.
All connected, all intertwined. If something happens to one part, the other part is going to suffer.
Well, I was listening to the conversation with a bunch of guys in the you know, they were having their own little conversation. You know, they're saying that rum, the rum is good for worm. You know, you drink rum, you don't have worms. You know, and they say, well, how you know this? You know, so he got a glass of rum and he got a glass of water, because he said water is good for you. Why don't you drink water? He said, well, all right, I'm telling you that rum is good for worms. So he got a worm and he put him in the glass of water, and the worm was wiggly and happy and jumping around and everywhere. And he said, oh, you see that? You see what I'm saying? And he take him and put him in the glass of rum, and the worm just did this. He didn't move at all after that. So they know that rum is good for worms, and so he didn't stop drinking rum because that was something that some of the guys talk about. So now we know.
And you know that doesn't happen in the intestine, right? Because believe me, by the time you start to drink, all of that alcohol is being absorbed.
Exactly.
Well,
So
he
the
knows that he don't have any
worms probably just get a little bit to just sleep a little bit and wake up and be excited again.
Exactly. Intoxicated worm.
I was going to your grandfather's.
And believe me, I'm sure these worms don't. These worms are probably not even. No, don't drink. Don't drink. If you think you have worms, do not drink alcohol.
All right, guys.
Thank you so. But Dr. K,
disclaimer.
You have touched just the tip of fatty liver, because
Just the tip.
as I am here thinking about it, and recognizing you might live your life and you don't have alcohol and you're trying to avoid damage to your liver, but certainly we never recognize that there is a whole arm of diseases, NASH, non-alcoholic hepatitis.
You
never drink a touch of liquor rum, but you're now having the same symptoms to die from it.
So my question to you is, can fatty liver affect the function of the liver to the extent that it affects your health, or is it something that you know that you have? Because as you started the conversation, you reminded us that there are persons who are asymptomatic, you have no symptoms, you go to the doctor for another reason, or you have an ultrasound done for another reason, and you discover that you have hepatic steatosis. Since it's not symptomatic, is there anything that we should look for to be guided to say whether we should check for this issue? And number two, should a liver function test then be included in the physical depending on your history? And number three, is it reversible?
Okay, so let's go. Yes, once you are going for your routine labs, we do liver function tests.
Okay.
Okay, that's generally, even when you go to the hospital for whatever reason, especially if you go for anything pertaining to your abdomen, a liver function test is done. And a liver function test is done because it's looking for any abnormalities with the liver. We do your alkaline phosphatase. We're looking for probably like things like stones. We do your AST, your ALT. So we your bilirubin levels and your total protein levels, albumin, globulin. So yes, we're looking at it. We're doing a liver function test on just about everybody. And even when you get your routine labs, and that's something that we hardly ever talk about, but when you do your complete blood count with your comprehensive labs, you're actually checking your liver also. So that's one of the things that you tick. So you're checking your kidneys, you're checking your liver, and you're checking your electrolytes. And the other thing that your doctor tend to check is your thyroid. So those are just routine, and your lipid panel. So that's your routine that's normally done when you do your annual test. And worst of all, when you're younger, if you're having a problem, they might not always do this, but especially if you're over 50, because what we need to know that fatty acid is more common, not that it's not common in younger people, and especially if you're diabetic and on medications, because medications, again, can cause this disease.
Here's a question for you, Doc. Persons are, this fatty liver thing, and you're talking about it, many persons who are listening right now might think that it's because you're overweight, obese, or this is the cause, or a possible cause that you may have fatty liver. Do you find that this fatty liver can be found in somebody who is possible more slimmer, not as fat, or in this sense, not overweight, not obese or anything, but
correct,
or even skinny? Put it this way: somebody who is underweight and skinny, and they have fatty liver, or these things are happening in them. Is this something that's
yes,
happened?
because as I say, having high cholesterol, high triglycerides,
yes,
doesn't necessarily always occur in obese people. There are people who are skinny. There are people who are normal weight and can have high triglycerides and high cholesterol. Remember, that doesn't necessarily always occur in obese people. There are lots of people who are diabetic, and you said, how come this person is diabetic? They're so skinny. So there are lots of other things that can, and remember, genetics play a role. So you don't have to have, you can have diabetes, you can have people with polycystic ovarian syndrome. They tend to be a little bit on the bigger side. They can have obesity, especially have central lobular, when the fat is usually around the abdomen. The
You're
waist,
talking about the love angles, Doc?
Yes. So men who have
love handles,
bigger weight, bigger abdominal girth. Put it. So once your abdomen tends to be a little bit bigger.
You mean the men with the guts?
Say that again.
Men that have guts.
Physical guts.
Guts. You know, they say men, you say when you have guts. You know, men have guts. So, and of course you are wealthy, so you have this larger stomach, so you have much money. You know.
Oh, that gut. Okay.
Guts.
So yes. And the other question, Lady Elise, is it reversible? And the answer is yes. It is reversible. But it's depending on which stage you get it at. Because you're depositing fat in your liver itself, and it can actually progress to cirrhosis
Mm.
of the liver.
Wow.
So if you get it at the stage where you're just having, and as I say, most times you have no symptoms, but you can just have mild pain in the right upper quadrant. So just mild pain alone in the right upper quadrant can herald you to having something happening in your liver. You do an ultrasound, you do a CT scan, or just a plain ultrasound can actually pick up, which is a non-invasive test, can actually see or diagnose hepatic fatty liver or hepatic steatosis. What we need to realize is that we have to maintain our lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle. So if you have fatty liver, what you want to do is lose weight if you're obese, okay? Control your blood sugar if you're diabetic. Make sure you control your cholesterol, your triglycerides, your lipids. And if you are, depending on what else you're doing, trying to eat a healthy diet, a plant-based diet. And it's amazing that that's something that we've always had, and then nowadays everybody, a plant-based diet is the best diet. Can you imagine? Before that, nobody was. Now they're going. We knew that a plant-based diet was the best diet from ever since we were born, right?
160 years ago.
From time immemorial.
160 years ago, we knew that the plant-based diet is the best diet. 160 years ago.
Though, Dr. K, as I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it and recognizing the delicate balance in our health. And you mentioned the plant-based diet, and I'm thinking how much I like comfrey. Now, comfrey is one of the things. As a matter of fact, when I went to Jamaica the last time, I had to search because I couldn't find comfrey anymore, and I know of its medicinal effects and the medicinal properties.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, maintaining that balance in the amount, that's the challenge that we have. How much is too much? I had the experience where I learned of the positive effects of carrots. And so, Dr. K, I went all out. I extracted, I bought, until to the point that I had beta carotenemia. My palms were now orange. I was now like a walking carrot. and so you mentioned so many things about our health. The fact that the first thing we do every day, we take a Panadol. We have to take care of our livers because then we need our liver to live.
We do.
That's a good statement right there. Liver to live.
Yes, liver to live. I was just looking at comfrey, and I know about it because people use it a lot in cooking, and they use it to decrease inflammation and to treat wounds, and it can be used for sprain and broken bones. But I suppose it's when I was looking and I saw that, I said that I was looking for herbal stuff. What are some of the herbs that can damage your liver? And I remember, is this the herb with the white back?
No, the comfrey.
There's a herb with the white under the leaf is white. I don't know which herb is that.
Comfrey has a big leaf. It's almost like
is it the one that's soft?
It's soft and the leaves are huge. Just
yes.
Nice long leaf. My mom should join me. She has comfrey.
No. And we're not saying that because people use comfrey for inflammation all the time. It decreases inflammation, but it's the amount that you use.
Amount.
Yes, because a lot of herbs that we use can and they will tell you that your herb, you have to use it in moderation. And I tell you, your vitamins, even your vitamin A, that you're saying, oh my God, I need to see well. I need to make sure that I have good vision. So you go all out. Just like Lady Elise, who went all out in her carotene and her carrots, because she getting her vitamin A and her vitamin
She almost
E.
became Hulk. She almost became Hulk. Hulk. Is it
I
Hulk?
was orange.
Is it Hulk or Ultras? Is it Hulk or Hulk? I don't know.
I
Female
had
Hulk.
beta carotene. I had too much.
Hulk got green,
Exactly.
and then
if
Elise
you
got
continue
orange.
that,
Is
you
it orange?
cannot damage your cells. That's
Yes.
what I'm saying. So you're giving your liver a lot of work in order to try to break down the amount of beta carotene that you're actually taking into your system. And what we need to understand, that we always say whatever we do, we must do it in moderation.
Moderation.
I am telling you this morning, exercise this morning. I am exercising my mind, just thinking about how good my liver have to be to keep my life going. Healthy
Listen,
liver,
Dr. K has to do a
healthy
part
alive,
two.
you know.
She has to continue. She
This is
touched
part
on
two of
some
this.
topics.
Part two. You need
She
a
has-
part two on this one.
She has some topics that she has to touch on. She has to touch on diabetes. She has to touch on polycystic ovarian disease. There's so many, and the liver must continue. There's so much to talk about, Dr. K.
We'll continue with a part 2 next week, because
Yes.
we haven't even touched the liver yet. The truth is, we haven't touched the liver.
We need to touch the liver.
My poor
So-
liver, my gizzard. Oh no! All right, Lady Elise, this
You're
morning.
not a chicken. Chicken has gizzard.
Gizzard. Yeah. Gizzard.
All right, so thank you, Dr. K, for joining us this morning on our wellness check on this Wellness Wednesday. And certainly, I've learned a lot. There's a lot of conversation. I see persons in the chat. They're certainly learning a lot about their livers this morning, and we hope that you will join us next Wednesday. Next
In
Wednesday.
fact, send in your questions and your comments.
Have it.
And now that you know what we're talking about, join us so you can have an interactive session.
Yeah.
There you have
Why
it.
not?
There we have it.
Wellness Wednesdays, guys. Thank you, Dr. K, for this morning's experience and the wealth of information that I received. I'm just taking it personal for myself. Everybody can do the same. Please, guys, be selfish a little bit with your health, all right? When we come back.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4 Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
is February 26th, and these are the news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. I'm Corley Karen. Dwayne Seymour to run with Progressives. Dwayne John Seymour will be contesting the upcoming general election as a candidate for the People's Progressive Movement. The announcement was made Tuesday morning following Deputy Premier Kenneth Brand's declaration of his own candidacy under the PPM banner. Seymour, currently the Minister of Border Control, Labour and Culture in the United People's Movement Administration, has aligned with PPM in the past but never officially ran under its banner until now. He praised the party's longevity and structure, contrasting it with newer political parties forming ahead of the elections. PPM leader Joey Hugh welcomed Seymour, highlighting his leadership and experience. Deputy Premier Kenneth Bryan rejoins PPM after 10-year gap. Deputy Premier Kenneth Bryan has officially rejoined the PPM and will stand for re-election under its banner. Bryan, who previously ran as an independent, cited the need for political stability as a key reason for his return. Speaking on Radio Cayman's For the Record, he expressed regret over recent political turbulence, including multiple changes in leadership positions over the last 4 years. Program launched to teach financial skills to Cayman's youth. The National Youth Commission has introduced a financial literacy program aimed at young Caymanians aged 14 to 25. Participants will receive a certificate upon completion and a $250 grant to start implementing their financial skills. Deputy Chairperson Brittany McVigar emphasized the importance of financial education in a challenging global economy. Fishermen defend long-standing use of red spot bay. Elderly fishermen have spoken out against efforts to remove them from Red Spot Bay, where they claim to have been cleaning and selling fish for over 50 years. The dispute arises as the government seeks to purchase the land to preserve the open-air fish market, while the property's owner, Chris Johnson, opposes the move and wishes to establish a public park instead. 72-year-old visitor pronounced dead after being pulled from water. A 72-year-old American tourist died on Sunday after experiencing distress while swimming off 7 Mile Beach. Despite efforts by beachgoers and emergency responders, he was pronounced dead at the hospital. This marks the second water-related fatality in the Cayman Islands this year. Man charged with attempted murder in West Bay shooting. A 22-year-old West Bay resident has been charged with attempted murder following a shooting at a construction site on Birch Tree Hill Road. The victim, a security guard, sustained a foot injury. The suspect also faces charges of illegal firearm possession and has been remanded in custody until his next court appearance on March 7. Restaurant owner vows business as usual after armed robbery. Colin Eccles, owner of Chill Spot in Savannah, remains undeterred despite a robbery by 3 masked men who stole over $4,000. While one staff member is still recovering from shock, Eccles remains committed to expanding his business across the island. And now to regional news. BOJ Governor Biles, optimistic on economy, says inflation within target. Despite 2 consecutive quarters of economic contraction, BOJ Governor Richard Biles maintains that inflation will remain within the target range of 4 to 6%. He assures that the foreign exchange market remains stable and reserves are expected to strengthen over the next 2 years. Olympics volunteer who helped Parchment arrives in Jamaica. Tiana Kawashima, the Tokyo 2020 Olympics volunteer who assisted Hansel Parchment, has arrived in Jamaica. She received a warm welcome at the Princess Grand Hotel in Hanover. Tourism officials expressed gratitude for her role in ensuring Parchment made it to his semi-final race, which ultimately led to his gold medal victory. The Bahamas, former PM's daughter passes at 45. The Bahamas mourns the passing of Kelly Ingram, daughter of former Prime Minister Hubert Ingram. She recently underwent medical treatment in the US but succumbed to illness. The nation extends condolences to the Ingram family during this difficult time. Stay tuned for more updates throughout the day on Flashpoint Radio.
Of course, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So much happening in the news this morning. Lady Elise, good morning to you. Of course, joining us this morning is Hazel G. Good morning, Hazel G. How are you?
Good morning. I am pretty good. See, I'm supporting my.
Yeah, what are you in? What are you in this morning? Jamaica?
Yes.
You actually didn't give me the memo. I wanted the memo this morning, Hazel G. I would have been dressed appropriately.
All right.
It is for special people only.
Members only.
Members, it's a private party. All right, so our winner of our ticket for yesterday, one of our tickets for our concert that is coming up right here in the Grand Cayman Islands. Yeah.
Yes, and I got so the answers were actually sent to me, even though they weren't exactly totally
All right.
But nonetheless, you need to come to the studio so that I can photograph you picking up your ticket, Hazel G.
Okay.
And of course, before we get out of the studio, Mikey G, please be reminded that the Cayman Academy will be having their very special event this weekend.
Well, let me show this one.
We have two tickets.
Two tickets for our teachers talent parade, right? They're going to be teachers singing and the students as well. All right, so let me do this one for our higher praise first, and then we go to Cayman Academy right after.
What's up,
What a God. Of course, that one, is going to be an energy packed and fit.
Go to McFarlane.
Right jumping on around. Right. So we have one more ticket for that one. We have one more ticket. Do we have a question for the people? Because Hazel G is the winner of that ticket, this one. Hazel G, you have won this ticket. And what was the question that was answered? Please.
I have to find the question. Can't find the question.
All right, so let's go
we
to
have one more ticket.
Let's go to
How long is the youth ministry around?
How long was the youth ministry around?
Youth talent. Talent.
Which one? Which youth talent? The one that is the Seventh-day Adventist one?
No. Generally, it's 66 years.
What youth?
It's been around
for 66 years.
No, I have the information here. Our judge, I will say the competition has been around for 30 years, right? And of course, they ask now, and perhaps I should ask, how many times have the Cayman Islands entered?
So that's so it been around for 30 how many years?
For around 30 years.
For about 30 years, and how many
this
times?
Is Cayman's, which this would be Cayman's.
How many times?
I'm not right. I'm not going to say.
So the next person who wins the next ticket would have to.
One more ticket. Yes,
and
it's going to be an awesome concert. It's going to be the 8th of March at the Triple C Center right here in the Cayman Islands. The tickets are normally $25. So if you do win a ticket, you'll be winning yourself a value of $25 and more. Guest artists will be there. You cannot afford to miss it. And of course, we have 2 more tickets. Yes.
All right.
The Cayman Academy. Yes.
Let's roll this one for our people.
Yes.
Cayman Academy PTA presents for the first in a long time a teachers concert. See our very own teachers showcase their talents from their culture, fashion show, musical delights as they give us a night of entertainment with fun and laughter. Come on out on Saturday night, March the 1st, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. Tickets pre-sold, $25 for adults. Children under 18, $10. At the gate, children under 12, just $5. Adults, $30. Get your tickets from your teachers at ABC Bookstore, at the conference office, and Funky Times. Part proceeds in aid of upgrading the school grounds. See you there.
All right, so our teachers are dressing up as kids. That's what I'm seeing.
That's what you see on the flyer.
All this time I look at the flyer and saying, what is the children going to be performing? Not realize that the big teachers, big teachers in the school uniform.
Yes.
All right.
Teachers Talent Expo on.
We are going to be having one of those times when we dress up in our old uniform and then come back. We want to have a flashpoint day when we do something like that. One of those, what you call, back in the 90s, back in the 80s, back in the day when you were a kid and you dress up in your school uniform.
With your barefoot pants.
Big in booty and barefoot pants. You remember that days, G? You remember big in booty and barefoot pants?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
But guess what? When people say remember it,
it's a platform, and they call the shoes platform.
Right. Are you seeing them? Are you seeing them still today?
Of course.
Very good. So when people say back in the day it was barefoot pants, everybody wearing barefoot pants and you see a big heel boots right now. So it's that back in the day thing. What was old is new, and what is new is old.
No, what goes around comes around.
What goes around comes
around. So.
Nothing new under the sun. Let's yeah.
Nothing new under the sun. All right, well, I want to thank us this morning for joining me this morning right here on the Breakfast Hour. It has been a wonderful morning, isn't it? Tell us, you want to shout out anybody this morning? What do you want to shout out this morning? Tell me. Special birthdays for everybody. I want to say to my grandson King, yeah, well, guess what I'm going to do? Tomorrow I'm going to bring this feature and do a belated birthday for him because I was promising to do this, but I think after he has this bounce about, I understand I'm going to have bounce about at the school. They're going to have cake and all sort of stuff for the kids. A whole thing, they might keep this little man at the school on a school day. So, I don't know what's going on.
When he has all his friends there to enjoy it with
him. Enjoy his function. So, tomorrow I'm going to be promising to bring a feature of this little man having a great day with his friends right at his school.
Okay.
And
so you're going to go there to do some video then?
Yeah, we're doing some video with them today. All right.
Good. Sound good.
All right, and don't forget, tomorrow we'll be joined in studio by the man Sarida DVN, the winner. Oh, yes. Of course, he'll be sharing, and he's been joining us all the way from St. Kitts, and he's going to be telling us about a tour, ongoing tour that he'll be going not only to the Caribbean, to the US as well. So if you are thinking of not being present on the Breakfast Hour, think again. You need to join us tomorrow as we'll have a special guest in studio joining us.
And incidentally, Elisa, lady, I don't know Comfrey either.
You don't know what?
You don't know Comfrey? All right, okay. I'm gonna ask my mom today to just take a picture of a comfrey and share with us. You know, comfreys. Yeah.
I would go further than that. The first thing when colonization took place, they deemed your herbal system black magic and destroyed it.
We don't want to end on that note, you know, Mikey G. We don't want to, but yes, yes, and just to remind you, our meet and greet comes up also, and we'll be sharing the details of that as time progresses. So I want to thank you so much for joining us on this episode, Wellness Wednesday, where we spoke all about your liver. If you didn't know, it's the largest internal organ, and also you'll have learned today that it has the potential to regenerate itself. And there's so much more to learn. So join us tomorrow morning. We'll have Sarah DVN on. Join us Friday morning. Join us Monday, every single morning.
I think,
right
I think
here
some people.
on the Breakfast Hour.
Are you on Sunday morning too?
In a different capacity.
Okay.
Well, you know, here's where I'm going to go with the conversation, Lady Elise, when you say the liver or those persons. Well, some people, because of their cowardly behavior, do they have liver or gizzards?
Don't laugh.
They won't
Do
stand
not
up
laugh,
now,
Energy.
Oh.
Energy, do not laugh.
Too late. Too late. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
it's already laughing. Eh?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. The discussion is going on, Energy, about our ministry, our what we as Adventists, the persons who are Adventists known, understand the health message to be, and how we have squandered the ideologies of it and never pay attention to it over the years as a people. I'm not saying everyone did. I'm saying there were so much of us that are anti the very thing that we're supposed to be. I don't understand. And now people are coming out claiming that they are the one, the forerunner for it. And we are now seen as the one. We can't be known now as the person who actually had the message, because we didn't do much with it. Talk to
You remember we started that discussion yesterday?
Yeah. And we're ending with it this morning.
That's right. Yes.
All right.
So it's time for us to take up the mantle and start again.
Well, they say the best time to start with the health message was 160 years ago, and the next best time is
now.
Now. So go now and do it. Don't worry about 160 years that passed. If you do it now, you may make up for what you have lost. Even if you can't, try your best to try a little harder to do something about it today. All right? Have a good day, guys. Remember, like, share, and subscribe to Flashpoint. Give us 1 million views 2025 this year, 10 million views, and of course subscribers for our platform to reach more persons with this message around the world. Have yourself a great day. Remember, www.flashpointmedia.ky. Our radio continues all day. Lots of great stuff coming up later on, right here at Flashpoint.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio, Rise and Shine, your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun, with Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further? faith, I'm afraid. Let's not get stuck in our worries. We'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air. Look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together. We'll all sing better outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever. I'll be yours forever. Are we part of this circus? Is it innate? Feels like a heavy burden, but I can't relate. Do our actions even matter? Or is this a fate? At least now I'm feeling better. I know I'm here to stay. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air. Look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd. Just you and me together. We'll all sing better outside. Just us in the sky. I will go wherever. I'll be yours forever.
Second Corinthians 2:9 and 10. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love Him. But God has revealed it to us by His Spirit. You're locked into the station that helps you tap into those incredible things that God is preparing for you.
You're listening to Flashpoint,